Hey guys, it's Tank from Uncle Sam's Got It Children going live here. And listen, I want to talk to you a little bit about what's happening up there in North Dakota in regards to this native tribes, in regards to the lands. And I want to thank everybody for joining me. I understand there's some people in here that are working for this company, and you know that's your job, that's your living, that's totally understandable. But here are the things, and this is why I need you guys to pay attention to some of the facts. Okay, first and foremost, this 8 years under the Obama administration, there's been similar incidents. The Bundy Ranch, the Navajo in Colorado fighting with the EPA, and the river that was basically, they turned different color because all the chemicals that were put into it, and then you have the Bundy Ranch. Every time this happens, we have a division between patriots and conservatives. Everybody divides. It's like a divide and conquer. I read the comments, people attacking each other, and I sit back and I look at this whole thing and go, you guys are pawns, you know that, right? The only one who's winning out of all this is the government, who's taking away the land. The Sioux, who had this land, they just bum rushed the whole contract, bum rushed it. There is no media attention here. And that is the number one thing you need to be aware of. There's total media blackout. And folks, when this happens, there's a lot more to it than what you think it is. And you might have a job. You might be working for this company. And you might say, well, this is how I feed my family. That's fine. It's great. Good for you. Okay? But there's a lot more to it than just, you know, your particular job or anything else, because there's a fact. When the media has a blackout, there is a lot more people with their hands in the cookie jar, especially folks like Harry Reid, the BLM, and the Clintons involved. I guarantee you that. It never fails. Okay? We as people have to unite. There's a way to go about it. Don't tell me there's no ways to go about it. There's always a way. All right? But the government that we're dealing with is either their way or their highway. We're going to have a huge incident here, okay, where innocent people are going to get killed. And the same thing happened with the Bundy Ranch. And when the Bundy Ranch happened, a lot of folks were like, oh, they deserve it. They deserve to get killed. Now, these are patriots. These are individuals. I'm looking at you right in the face. Consider patriots saying that kind of bullshit. But you know what? One day, they're going to be knocking on your freaking door. And because you stood back and said, hey, it wasn't me. It wasn't my problem. I didn't have to deal with. Guess what? The SS, the Nazis that were putting their own Jews inside the trains, they said the same thing. Hey, it's my job, man. I need to feed my family. They said the same thing. So what is, you know, different? There's no difference, okay? There's no difference. Now, nobody has paid more into the lands than the native Indians. And if you have no respect for that, there's something wrong with you. You know, because they are in fact, have been screwed more than anybody else. Now, these are not the same individuals that you see rioting and looting in Ferguson. They're not the same folks. So you can't just blame the finger and say, hey, you know what, they deserve it. Because that's not true. You know, so we as Americans have a responsibility to take care of one another, and we have this thing called, you know, life of property, right? This is our property, and it's not just, if it was just the native Indians and North, it was just the Sioux and the corporations that are dealing with the Army Corps. Hey, you know, it was just one particular incident you have to worry about. But fact is, there's been Americans nationwide, ranchers, Indians, I mean, you name it, who have lost their land because of eminent domain or because of the BLM or because of issues like this. And when it happens, they don't give a shit. They bring mercenaries, paid mercenaries, contractors, right? You know, that have no knowledge, no experience. The same thing happened with the Bundy Ranch. Same issue. And then you have the blackout. So I'm asking you people, everybody's watching this video, unite or die, folks. They love when we divide. They love when we argue amongst each other. I got you guys folks saying, hey, these are jobs. Let me tell you about jobs. Disney World just released about 2,000 citizens to hire working visas. Guess what's going to happen with those jobs you're talking about? You know that 10,000 refugees is coming here? Well, they're already here, 10,000 refugees. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to be taking those jobs. Yeah, there you go. Those jobs you're talking about. Those great jobs. Man, they're making jobs. Jobs what? Jobs what? They're giving those jobs to working visas and refugees. That's what's going to happen. So, you know, guys, we say this all the time, and you know this. Don't believe the government and don't believe the mainstream media. There has been a total blackout. That should be a red flag. Overall, it's a red flag. They should say, you know what, man? Something ain't right here. Something ain't right. And we got to pay attention to it. And I am paying attention to it. Because when there is a blowback, okay? When there is a blowback like Wounded Knee, same thing that happened to Wounded Knee, then you're going to be looking back and saying, oh, what I could have done. What I could have done to make a difference. We got to stop fighting amongst each other like little peons. Just because somebody's throwing you a handout and a little cookie and say, here's a cookie, shut the fuck up and look the other way. It doesn't work that way, folks. You know, the elites get richer, the Clintons get richer, the Clintons keep using Communist News Network to, you know, to censor the truth. Now when I tell you the truth and I tell you the fact, then you sit back and you whine about it and you cry about it and you trigger and you say, I need my safe space. I can't believe I would have thought something more than you and expect more than you. Well, you expect me to tell you the truth. And the truth is not pretty. It's not beautiful. It doesn't work that way. I don't promise you a rose garden. And you shouldn't expect it. I'm going to tell you what is and the facts. And you take it for the grain of salt. You take it what it is. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm disappointed. I get really, really disappointed with American people. Because you guys supposed to unite under one every single time. And it happens. With the Bundy Ranch, happened. Folks were like, oh, they deserve. How can you say they deserve? You know, he deserved. There's Bundy family right now in jail, in prison, without a fair trial. There's folks in prison right now without a fair trial. The media literally had a field day with them. The liberals enjoyed every minute of it. These rednecks, they deserved it. They should have all died. They should have been killed. All because they were defending their property. The Indians are no different. And then you have the Navajo Indians in Colorado dealing with the EPA. And all they can do is sue the EPA. Their river is contaminated. Totally contaminated. But who cares? Because it's not your problem. It's not your problem. And some of you, hey, I work for the EPA, man. I work for the EPA. We're good folks. We're good people. I got to feed my family, man. Hey, I totally understand. You got to do what you got to do. You know? And that's the problem we have in America. People got to do what they have to do, you know, to survive. Look the other way because it's not your problem. And that's what I got to tell you. That's why I got to make this freaking video here. And if you don't like it, too bad. Go somewhere else. Go to another, you know, safe space and a place where they can tell you what you want to hear. Where you got a place to say, hey, you know, you're right. There's no hurt feelings here. We're going to tell you exactly what you want to hear. Well, that's what the media is for. The media, that's what the media is for. They're giving it to you exactly with sugar. You want some sugar with that? You want some honey? How you like that bullshit? You want bullshit? I'll give you bullshit. So, there it is, folks. We have to wake the hell up. Because one day it will be our fight, whether we like it or not. And it is our fight right now. We have to unite as one, and we have to look at each scenario as one people, okay? We can do things better. There are things that we can do better. But when the BLM, when there's a total blackout, when there's mercenaries involved, when when that kind of shit is happening, you have a red flag. You have to look at it from that perspective and say, wait a minute, we got an issue here. Let's look at it as one people because it can be done. All right? And don't tell me, hey, man, this is for us. This is for us. Because under this administration don't give a shit about you. don't give a shit about your job. They don't care. They don't care less. I guarantee you, this corporations and this company already bought and paid for by Harry Reid and the Chinese. It's already in their wallet. And you're thinking about your job. You know, we should be more worried about where that corporation, where that business is going to. You know, where they just don't give a shit. They're hush hush. Hey, you know, look the other way. Look the other way. Nobody needs to know the truth. And that's what's happening. Anyways, folks, love you guys. This Tank from Uncle Sammy's Got It Children. If I hurt your feelings, I'm sorry. No, I'm not. But that's what I'm here for. Love you. 7'5" do or die. Check out that shirt. Hillary is a motherfucking pathological liar. Get one. 7'5" do or die. Love you guys. Hey, unite or die. Unite or die. We either hang as one or we hang as individuals. You pick.